Before oceans carved paths, before bones rose from dust, before breath dared enter lungs, there was chemistry and silence. The kind of silence that holds its breath before a match is struck, before the small spark becomes a flame that changes everything. Across the stars, planets spin through light and shadow. Some burn, some freeze, some seem just right. But is just right ever enough? Perhaps the miracle isn't that Earth is alive, but that any world ever lived at all. Evren stood barefoot in the cracked soil of a dry lake bed, his staff resting against his shoulder. Lightning flickered on the horizon, too far for thunder to reach. Just silence. This place once held water, a resting spot for his flock in water years. Maybe even the promise of life. But promises, Evren knew, were as fragile as a newborn lamb. Welcome back, traveler. My name is Aytaç Ertekin and this is SITU, Silence in the Universe. Together we listen to the silence and chase the spark that broke it. This is not a story of endings, but of beginnings that never were. Not a graveyard, but a canvas waiting for its first stroke. On a young earth, lightning struck a pond. Sunlight warmed a brood of molecules. Carbon met hydrogen, nitrogen whispered to oxygen. And in that quiet alchemy, something stirred. From lifelessness to motion. Evren crouched by the edge of the ancient lakebed, his fingers sifting through fine mineral-rich sediment. It glittered faintly, like a memory of water. This place, millions of years ago, was a cradle, warm, wet, electric. A stage set for life, not unlike the green valleys where his sheep now grazed. But the curtain never rose. He thought of scientists like Stanley Miller, who in 1953 sparked electricity through a flask of methane and water, mimicking Earth's primordial soup. Amino acids formed, the seeds of proteins. But seeds don't always grow. Evren knew. His seam's lamp faltered despite every care. This lakebed, cracked and silent, might have been one of Earth's first experiments. Lightning struck here too. Molecules danced, but the dance stopped short. For every earth that sparked, there were countless worlds where lightning missed, where chemistry stayed just that, chemistry. We call it abiogenesis, the birth of life from non-life. But it's a birth we've never witnessed. No fossil marks the moment. No blueprint survives. Just one fleeting moment that might have almost missed, even here. Evren's grandfather, a shepherd like him, used to say, "The hardest part of any fire is the first spark." So, it's with life. To ignite, you need the perfect recipe. Organic molecules, the building blocks, liquid water, a stage for molecules to move and bound, a stable environment, not too hot, not too cold, an energy source, lightning, volcanic heat, or starlight, a way to store and copy information, the seed of DNA or RNA. But having the ingredients doesn't mean they can combine. It's like a cosmic orchestra where every instrument must play in perfect harmony. Miss one note and the symphony never begins. Most chemical soups stay soups. Most words stay quiet. Even on Earth, life may have tried and failed countless times. A 2024 study found amino acids in meteorites. Proof that life's ingredients are common across the stars. But assembly? That's the bottleneck. The life that bloomed here, every tree, every bacterium, every one of us, might trace back to a single, improbable chain of chemistry. A fluke, a freak, a self-sustaining accident. Evren climbed a hill above the basin, his flocks faint bleating, drifting from below. The dry valley stretched like a shattered mirror, mineral deposits glistening, salts, clays, the ghost of ancient water. He imagined 1,000 planets like this, worlds like TRAPPIST 1e, 40 light years away, with its oceans and temperate haze. Worlds with clouds, warmth, everything right, but no spark. We search exoplanets for water, for atmospheres, for cold. But what if the rarest part is life itself? Not complex life, not intelligent life, just any life at all. The rare life hypothesis doesn't say life is fragile. It says life is rare, not because the universe is cruel, but because life demands coincidence, layered, improbable, unrepeatable coincidence. Yet some argue life might be common, just hidden. Microbes too small for our telescopes, biochemistries too alien to recognize. But even if they are out there, the silence persists. No signals, no signs, just us wandering. Evren's hand brushed a jagged rock. It held a faint, branching pattern, like a fossil, but not quite. A trick of the stone, or a whisper of life that tried and failed. At the hill's edge, Evren spotted a single white flower pushing through a crack. Tiny, defiant. Its roots clawed through the stone, stealing water from crevices no wider than a whisper. Even this took effort, he murmured. He crouched beside it, brushing its fragile stem with calloused fingers, rough from years of guiding his flock. Why here? He thought. Why now? No bees, no wind, no reason, and still it bloomed. Not for survival, not for glory, just because it could. As a boy, Evren lay under the stars with his grandfather, a shepherd who read the sky like a map. Every light up there is a chance, he'd said. His voice warm against the night's chill. Now, in this barren valley, Evren wondered, was Earth the only chance that worked? Evren stood, the white flower's defiance lingering in his mind. If life was this stubborn, this rare, what did it mean for the signals we've cast into the stars? In 1977, Carl Sagan's team etched humanity's story onto the Voyager's golden record. Music, greetings, the sound of a heartbeat. A message in a bottle, launched into the void. Cities' radio waves beam towards distant stars. Telescopes scan exoplanets for the faint glow of life. We shout into the silence, hoping for an answer. But what if the silence replies with our own echo? Are we reaching out to meet another voice, or hoping our own echo comes back? The Fermi Paradox looms. Where is everyone? If life is rare, we might be the answer, the first to carry the spark. But a spark can flicker out. It needs tending, protecting, sharing. Evren wondered if the white flower knew it was alone, or if it bloomed simply because it could. What would it mean to you, traveler, if Earth were the only world with life? Would it make you feel alone or chosen? Evren sat on the stone warmed by the fading sun, his flocks setting the valley below. He thought of creation stories, gods breathing life into dust. But maybe the truth is stranger. Maybe the gods were chemical. Maybe the breath came only once. If life is a single voice in a soundless night, then every choice we make to explore, to preserve, to create echoes across the cosmos. The spark is ours to carry or to lose. The silence isn't loneliness. It's inheritance. A fragile whisper passed down by chance, waiting for us to notice. You are the spark, and so we reach, not just to find others, but to honor the spark of being first. But even if life is rare, even if we are alone, what happens when the only voice in the universe stops listening outwards and falls in love with its own reflection? In our next episode, we explore the Narcissus effect, a world where intelligence survives but purpose withers, where mirrors multiply, where silence hides beneath the noise we make about ourselves. We ask, if intelligence survives the origin, can it survive itself? This is Aytaç Ertekin. This is SITU, Silence in the Universe. And you are the spark.